St. George Illawarra have found their way to a third consecutive Intrust Super Premiership NSW victory, edging the Wentworthville Magpies 22-12 in a tough performance at Ringrose Park on Sunday, the 10th of June, afternoon. The Dragons were guilty of coughing up possession far too easily in a scrappy game, but their resolute defense was enough to earn them another 2 competition points. Fullback Patrick Herbert was instrumental in the win, proving a constant threat with ball in hand, and the game management of halfback Nicholls was crucial. The result sees the Dragons climb back to third on the Intrust Super Premiership NSW ladder, while Wentworthville remains in 9th place. A pre-match downpour put an emphasis on ball handling to begin the action, with both teams playing simple football and working through their sets. That in mind, it was St. George Illawarra who opened the scoring after 7 minutes through an easy Nicholls penalty goal. An error inside their own red zone, following the restart, immediately put the pressure back on the visitors, but their defense held firm to ward off Wentworthville. It wasn't long before the Dragons were down the other end of the field, and they were able to take full advantage of the territory. A pinpoint bomb from Nicholls was swallowed by a leaping Luciano Leilua, who crashed into the end goal. Nicholls had no issues with the conversion, adding the extra 2 points to put the Red V ahead 8-0. Mistakes crept into the game during the back end of the first half as the side struggled to hold the ball in the drizzling rain. Following a flurry of Dragons errors, the Magpies were able to set up camp on their opposition's line for an extended period. The pressure looked to have paid off when Magpies winger Edward Iano dived over in the right-hand corner, but the referee called the playback for a prior St. George Illawarra indiscretion. Wentworthville wasn't able to capitalize on the next set either, as the Dragons' desperate scrambling defense prevailed. With 1 minute before halftime, St. George Illawarra struck a decisive blow via winger Jordan Pereira. After receiving a beautiful bullet pass, Pereira scorched down the left-hand touchline to register his 12th 4-pointer of the season and extend his lead as the competition's leading try scorer. Nicholls' goal attempt from the sideline unluckily struck the upright and bounced away, sending the Dragons into the break-up by 2 converted tries. Wentworthville began the second half in fantastic fashion, forcing 2 repeat sets in a row with deft kicks. Again, the Dragons' defense refused to be breached, forcing a knock-on and regaining possession. The game was halted momentarily as St. George Illawarra prop Mitchell Allgood received medical attention from the trainers and then groggily walked up the tunnel injured. The Dragons attacked when play resumed to no avail as Wentworthville fought hard to stay in the match. A mix-up between Herbert and Pereira under a high kick led to a knock-on and gave the Magpies a prime chance, and they finally cracked the Saints' line when halfback Rhys Davies stepped his way across the stripe. Nathan Davis nailed the conversion to reduce the margin to 6 with a quarter of the match to go. Wentworthville soon lost front rower Joshua Tengi due to a leg injury, leaving both teams down to 3 men on the bench for the last 15 minutes. Herbert gave St. George Illawarra a comfortable lead when he touched down in the 66th minute. Nicholls couldn't convert the try, leaving the Magpies needing to score 2 converted tries to steal a win. An enthralling finish was set up when Wentworthville prop Morgan Kaufusi barged his way over for a try. Davis kicked the goal to make the gap just 4 points. It was as close as they'd get, however. On the stroke of full-time, Nicholls snatched the Dragons' 4th try of the afternoon to complete a solid display from the Red V. St. George Illawarra takes on the Blacktown Workers Sea Eagles in round 15 of the Intrust Super Premiership NSW, while Wentworthville is up against the resurgent Wyong Roos. St. George Illawarra 22, L. Leilua, J. Pereira, P. Herbert, D. Nicholls tries, D. Nicholls 3 goals, BT Wentworthville 12, R. Davies, O. Kaufusi tries and Davis 2 goals.